Hi guys, I'm ringing from Melbourne. As you can tell from the accent, I'm from Manchester originally.
Yep.
I moved over here in 2007, and I go back regularly to watch the boys.
The banks of the Yarra River.
Correct. I was in the Imperial in the city centre this morning with the City Supporters Club, which I helped run. I'm just a bit concerned this season. I know he scored over 20-odd goals this season in the league and 31 altogether. But Haaland, when teams sit back on us and we're forced to play side to side and when the teams play low block, it doesn't suit Haaland because City won't cross it into him. They play this casual football and they pass it side to side. And then when Foden doesn't play in the middle, there's no one to feed him.
Yeah.
And when Foden played on the right-hand side and Bernardo played, when they changed it, it got slightly better. But I'm concerned because Haaland recently has looked frustrated. And I'm not going to blame Haaland. Are City failing to adapt to the way Haaland plays, or is it the other way around?
Good shout, Al. There's something wrong, you're right.
You know what I'd like to see, Alan, though, is that the size of him. Can't they, if it in and around the box, can't they play into his feet and like him turn and like get a shot off? You don't really see that from him.
If he's got a weak spot, he's a great goal scorer. We all know that. But if he's got a weak spot, is when the ball's played to feet and he's got the back to goal. Not the best link-up player. He's not. And the amount of time I was sitting next to a ex-semi-pro player in the pub last night. He was from England. He was a City fan this morning, and he was saying he's only been able to get hold of the ball and hold the ball up 3 times in the whole game.
Yeah.
And he's done that recently. And if he's got a weak spot, that is the area where he needs to work on.
Yeah.
He's only young. He can make it better. But at the end of the day, the games last year, for argument's sake, the ones that were tight games that were on a knife edge, Gundogan used to come up and Mahrez and slot the winners, and we're missing them badly.
100%.
Al, I've got to move on. Enjoy over there, but yeah, you're talking sense.
Thank you,
there. Al. He can hold the ball up better. Haaland, there's no doubt about it. Excuse me. I've just got the other thing I thought was when Jack against the fullback was booked. Keep having a go at him, Jack.
Yes.
Keep feeding Jack. Give him the ball. Get him in the box. Mm-hmm. But they just took the foot off the gas there. Anyway, what will Pep have been most disappointed by? John is now for more. Is the Guardian's Manchester football correspondent Jamie Jackson. Jamie, morning.
Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning.
Huge disappointment both games, to be honest. Arsenal. A lot of people expected that, but City had the chances, had the possession, couldn't put Real to the sword.
Yeah, I mean, my view of it is that even though they absolutely dominated the game, it's almost sort of City's attack via Real's defence. They didn't actually create enough clear-cut chances. There were some, don't get me wrong. De Bruyne, spurned one, for example. But it's interesting to talk about Haaland there. They play differently now with him in the team. Now, it worked unbelievably last season. Obviously, he scored, 52 goals in all comps. They won the treble. But this year, when the game is sort of like it was yesterday, where you had like an Alvarez or a sort of more, false number 9, basically a kind of almost like a midfielder or a number 10 playing as the 9, a false 9, that player is often a better all-round footballer than Haaland, so he can get involved in midfield and just sort of basically overload. And Guardiola basically admitted this a couple of weeks ago. It was on the back of the Roy Keane League Two comment. He's like these general players, a League Two player, and he sort of accepted. He obviously said that he's the best striker in the world, but he did sort of say that in the conversation and he mentioned Alvarez. If an Alvarez is playing there, then that player is able to sort of link up more, and that's more City's game. And if you look back at Guardiola's teams, do you remember Ibrahimovic at Barcelona years ago? He had him there for a season, then got rid of him. And Haaland is a similar sort of player, massive, tall guy, out and out number 9, but he's not the best, sort of midfielder or number 10-esque player when he needs to be. And I think that was the problem yesterday. He was lost, Haaland. He was just not in the game. Now, he will say that he doesn't create, it's the other players' sort of responsibility to create for him. But the point is, when they don't, Haaland does not then sort of come back and sort of add sort of creativity himself. So I think it was a missed opportunity last night for City, because that Real team, I was disappointed in, really. They were there for the taking. And when it got into extra time, you thought, right, okay, they've just dominated the second half, City, particularly.
Yeah, go on, put on the sword, yeah.
Exactly, and it didn't happen. It just did not happen.
Do they overplay, Jamie? Are they overplaying too much, City? I love the way they keep the ball possession, but sometimes say, get half a yard and put the keeper under pressure. Have a few strikes.
100%, Al. I mean, if you remember Arsene Wenger's Arsenal years ago, they were very side-to-side, sort of pretty football, but there wasn't always an end product. And that's what I thought last night. I mean, I sort of said they were probing, but there was no actual thrust or not enough thrust, you know what I mean, in front of goal. And I think that was an issue. And listen, Guardiola afterwards, he's going to sit there and say, I have no regrets. Of course he is, because he's a man manager. He's looking at the game at the weekend, the Chelsea FA Cup semi-final. But deep down, he's a smart cookie. He can see basically what I think we're all seeing.
Jamie, do you know what I want? Like, I totally agree with you and Alan. What I want to see from Haaland sometimes is like, you're getting frustrated, you're not getting the ball. Come and receive it and go and take a couple of players on. But I think they're that scared as a team to lose the ball because of Pep that he's not going to do that. Because get the ball into you, use your body, turn. He's quick, run at players. You don't see him do it, do you?
Yeah, no, you're right, Gabby. He is lightning. There was actually a moment yesterday evening when he chased back to sort of close down a player from sort of near their penalty area to halfway, and his speed was frightening. The way in which he caught up with the out player, and you just saw a flash then of basically what you're saying, what he has in his locker. But they weren't able to sort of release him enough, or basically what you're saying. He has got it in him. Now, he was injured for sort of 2 or 3 months from sort of December, I think it was. And since then, he's been a little bit, there's something not quite right with him. There just isn't. He's lost a little bit, or he needs to refine the zip that he can have, that sort of menace. Yeah. Because when he's on his game, he's absolutely frightening because he is very, very strong, but also lightning quick.
Yeah, something not right. You're right. By the way, we're being negative, but we should say how good was Kyle Walker as well. He was magnificent. Saturday's first FA Cup semi. Jamie, thank you. Between City and Chelsea is live on talkSPORT, 5:15 kickoff. Coverage begins at 5.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.